And hello, how are you, people?
Hey.
People that are tuning in.
Hey.
Hey. We are live on a different night.
Yeah, welcome to Wednesday.
Wednesday. We haven't done a Wednesday in quite a while ago,
In almost a year.
Almost a year, right? We used to do Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Saturday.
We did a lot of days.
Yeah.
We did a lot of days. So when you guys come in, say hello to us.
Say hello.
Let us know that
we
you
have
are
an
here.
exciting show today. We made it a special day because this is a special reason to having our guests come on today.
Yeah. Lots going on.
The reason that we didn't come in on Monday is because you were working on Monday.
I was working on Monday. I had to think about what I was doing.
You were working on Monday, and it was live at the same time that we usually go live. So Dr. Mark was gracious enough to say, okay, we do it another day. And,
right.
And that was awesome. That was awesome that we were able to do it today.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about movies. Have you ever had a script? You get a lot of script, and I know I read some of them with you. And you ever got a script and say, boy, this is going to be a great movie?
Yes.
You have gotten that?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to say the name, but
no, I mean, and when they send you sides for a film for an audition, you only get like one scene or half of a scene.
Right.
So it's very interesting that you can just tell from that one scene just that it's going to be a great project.
Yeah, well, there's certain movies like that, and this happened to be one of them. Because I remember when I was talking to Mark before he even said anything about the movie.
Yeah.
And he said the title, and I said, this is going to be a great project,
Yeah.
And it was just a feeling that I had. It wasn't, I didn't see any script. He didn't send me any private messages saying this is how it's going to be, this is what's going on. And as a matter of fact, when we met him, he didn't say anything about the project. I remember talking to him, he said, I knew nobody.
Right. Oh, yeah, I remember you told me you had that conversation.
And I said, what? Everybody says somebody. But it was interesting because when he mentioned when he was going forward with the project, I remember getting this feeling that this movie is going to be hysterical and it's going to be a great movie without seeing the script.
And it's hysterical.
And then when we turned up and we saw it,
even watching it the third time. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Daryl. Daniel, what's up? We haven't seen you in a while. So welcome to Wednesday night Tweed Talks.
Yeah. So and everybody that was in that movie, it was like they were fit for that movie. So that's one of the movies I regret not being on. You know what the other one is? And I joked about this with Mark at one point. I said, actually, it wasn't with Mark. I put it on Facebook, and he answered, he commented on it.
Okay.
I said, Black Panther, how come I wasn't in that movie? I was just joking around. Yeah. I was just joking around.
Yeah, that was really, really well made too.
Yeah. Well, so we see some people coming in. Daniel is there. Everybody that's watching this, you are going to enjoy this because this movie had me laughing. And the thing is that when you're watching a movie and it's funny, you have to watch it more than once.
Yes. Yes, you do.
You have got to watch it more than once. So of course I bought the movie.
Yeah. You bought it last week. We watched it last week, but we had watched it at the screening.
Right.
And then you were playing it this morning as I was getting ready to leave for work. And I'm like, I didn't see that before.
Yeah, you missed some of the joke because you were so busy laughing and some of the things that were going on.
Yeah, sometimes you don't hear them.
And I was explaining to some of the people are watching on YouTube today. My Tai Chi class actually is watching on YouTube because
are they?
Well, they don't have
Facebook. Yeah.
They don't do the Facebook.
But we're streaming live on YouTube too, so they can catch us there.
Yes, it's live everywhere.
Cool. That's cool.
Speaking of everywhere, this movie's everywhere now.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk to them about that, of course. Daryl, our loyal friend.
Yes.
Okay.
Daniel's viewing all the way from Canada.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
Daniel, yeah.
Daniel, that's right. And Daryl,
Daniel Miller, our technical advisor. So we have today some of the cast from Made in Chinatown. Mark Wiley and Robert Samuels we actually had on the show previously, so they are back today. And so we have a couple of cast members as well, so we will get a chance to chat with them in a couple of minutes when we bring them in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with Dr. Mark Wiley.
Let's bring them all in.
Okay, we're bringing them all.
Let's bring them all in.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Isn't this easier now? Welcome back.
Much easier. You just click the thing and we're in the waiting room, and then you just let us in. It's so much easier than before. Yeah.
It's much easier. We got a little more technical because of, before.
Press the green guy next to the like sign.
Yeah.
Right.
Balance on one leg and get an umbrella and get a hanger.
Right. Right. Oh my goodness.
Jeff, welcome to Tweed Talks. This is your first time on. Welcome.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here.
I was telling one of my students today that you just look at Jeff Lee.
Yeah.
And he looked like a movie star.
It's the hair. It's definitely the hair.
Me and Jeff, we go to the same hairstylist, and Bobby too. The three of us.
Yeah, right. In Chinatown.
The way you hairstyle.
In Chinatown.
Yes, Pedro. Jeff just did an amazing photo shoot, and he was sharing it on Facebook. And these are some wild photos. I mean, Jeff is so photogenic, and he does these still ads. Really amazing. He's got this great look.
Wow. Yeah, he does. When I went to your agent, he said, you got to look. And I said, and I kept looking around. He said, no, you got to look for commercial.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was funny. So, Robert, Bobby, how you doing?
Hey guys, how are you? Chris, Chris Caldovito, my man. Jeff.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Chris.
What's up, brothers?
It's a party tonight.
Wow, so good to see you guys. So good to see you both. Wow, amazing. Yes. My man.
So good to see everybody.
Yes.
We wanted to do this for a while. We wanted to do it before the movie came out.
Chris.
And also, but definitely now because the movie is everywhere.
Yes.
As soon as it was released, I went on Amazon and
bought it right away.
I didn't rent it. I bought it right away.
He's not playing around.
Thank you.
There's no need to play around because, and I'm telling the audience that if they watch it, they're gonna miss some of the jokes.
You have to watch it 3 times.
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
Agreed.
Today it came out on DVD today, and it has some DVD extras on it, behind the scenes interview extras. And if you go to our website, madeinchinatownmovie.com, no, not that website, kambulimedia.com. We have on there the Made in Chinatown page has links to the Best Buy, Movies Unlimited, FYE, all the different stores you can get it for DVD now. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I said Chris is doing a cartwheel there. He looked like he did a cartwheel.
There you go.
Is this better?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Now we can hear you.
I'm so sorry, Mark. I apologize.
It's all right. I was gonna
sorry.
have Bobby whack you, but
I know, you're gonna call Tony Darrow.
You're gonna call Tony Darrow. You know,
my
Pedro,
God.
I just
It's
wanted to mention
guys.
that you were talking
really
about
good.
Black Panther for you, and I think you would have done perfect as one of the warriors because you can do 100 handstand push-ups without spotting and flips as a gymnast. That'd be amazing.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, that was when I was 50.
Put me to shame.
Now I have to do 66.
You guys will all put me to shame, that's for sure.
You see, when I was 50,
I just act tough. I'm not really tough. That's just the
What?
acting.
You're not really tough?
I'm just an actor. I act tough. That's it.
Oh, that's
And and I must say he's a brilliant actor, both him and Jeff. Just amazing to work with both of you guys. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate all the support too, guys. I really do. Jeff, thank you. Chris, much love, brother. Thank you so much. Mark, you led the team, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. It looks like Fenton Lee is here also from your cast. If you can let him in.
I love it.
Fenton Lee played Vinnie Chau's father,
Yes.
Mr. Chow.
okay. Oh, there we go. Sure. Look at that.
Yes, Fenton, almost.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Put your camera on.
Show your face. I love
Show your
how
I'm trying to. It's my stock camera is not enabled for some reason. Huh.
Okay.
There's two more. There's actually two more.
Well,
Wow.
Manny's, it says his device is not connected, so we will wait for him to come in and then we'll
Oh, Manny's coming in. Great.
So
This is a party, Tweeds. It's a party.
Tell our viewers a little bit
I
about
love
the film. We have really, really supportive viewers, so don't tell them too much because they will go and buy it. So we don't want to give too much away.
Okay. Who do you want to sell it? Me?
Sure.
Yeah. So how did you come up with the idea?
Well, the idea came about because, like Bobby, you know, we're both Westerners, and we're both attracted to Asian culture at a young age, right? So we hung out in Chinatown, we studied Kung Fu, tried to date Asian women, you know, and it's always been a part of me since childhood. And I was in Chinatown 20 or so years ago, and I tried to enter a private Chinese club, and they said, sorry, members only. But, you know, that meant Chinese only, you know. So I think it was probably one of the family associations that I shouldn't have been knocking on the door anyway, you know. So I walked across Canal Street to Little Italy and got some lunch, and I thought, you know, it's okay that people have clubs for different things, and not everybody's got to be a member, you know. Came over and like tried to join the mob, you know. So I had that idea and I started writing it in 1999. It got very dark because I had them hiring this guy to be in the mob and then making him take over Chinatown and destroy all the businesses as a member of the mob to prove himself. And I just thought, boy, that's just getting too dark and I can't do that. I just didn't feel good. So I started writing funnier scenes, and the very first scene that was written was the deli scene, where he tries to shake down the deli.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. And so that one stayed for 20 years. But basically, it's about a young Chinese guy growing up in Manhattan as a second-generation Asian American. You know, his parents are traditional. He's not. He's just a New Yorker. And he can play basketball or join the chess club. So why can't he join the mob? Because he likes this girl who dates guys who are a member of that group. You know, so he's just an American guy, a New Yorker. You know, why can't he do that? So he tries his best to do it. And it starts kind of this mob war between Brooklyn, Chinatown, Little Italy, and the crime commissioner. And he ends up wreaking havoc everywhere. And it's just to get a girl, you know, stupid guy. But in the end, you know, it's really about his identity. What does it mean to be a hyphenated American, you know, Asian American, a Black American, or Mexican American? And where can we fit in? Where can we not fit in? You know, where can I, as a white American, fit in, and where can I not fit in too? Right. So that's really the heart of the story, is that. and it's really a study of masculinity. You see the mob guys have a certain machismo, like Mr. Caldovino here, you know, and the Kung Fu guys, you know, Lo Mong's all no nonsense and fighting and, you know, I'm a badass, you know, and the black detectives, Johnson and Johnson are carrying guns and, you know, forcing the law. And right in the middle of this is Manny Brown, this gay black guy with a high-pitched voice, who's the only one who's comfortable in his own skin. Right? In the whole movie. He's the only guy who's comfortable in his own skin, and he kicks ass. And, you know, he kicks ass, but doesn't have to act like this shit ain't gonna work. You know, he doesn't have to act like a tough guy to do it. Right? So when Vinny Chow sheds all of that from him, all that falseness of who he is, he realizes, man, there's this great girl who loves me for who I am. My family loves me for who I don't need all this stuff, you know? And it's, you know, his conscience told him that. Wisdom and knowledge, Mr. Jeff Lee here, Lou the Ancient. Right. Two roles in the movie. Okay. You know.
So go ahead, Jeff.
I love how the wisdom and knowledge were their own comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you get involved with the movie, Jeff?
Oh, you're checking me?
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was I'm friends with Ching, and I had done. I think I did a short film with him prior to this, and at that point, I wasn't really hanging out. We were friends, but then he talked to me. He sent me Mark's story, and I knew. I said, "Wow, this is like in this only can be done as like an out and out comedy." I'm going, wow. If you take this too seriously, it is going to be dark, like Mark started off. And then Mark and Shing set me up for 3 roles, for 3 character roles. Unfortunately, one of them got cut because of, I guess, I'm not sure. Time, we ran out. It was the end.
Too many scenes, too much time to keep it at 90 minutes. So. Yeah. So I had a great time. I like the first day was like, for me, was unbelievable. The makeup, Melanie Lakata, who made me look like that character that you saw. She's a genius. And Shing also, of course. And it was 98 degrees. I don't know if you knew.
Yeah.
And
it was hot.
The cameraman is holding this camera in 98 degree weather, like lying on his back. I'm going, oh man, this is like, I didn't realize it was going to be that like a physical ordeal.
That's how you get the best shots in 98 degree weather.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's the wisdom and knowledge, where the first day of shooting, it was almost 100 degrees, no clouds, just coming down.
No wind.
We shot him in a playground in Philadelphia in Chinatown behind the Baptist or Christian church.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Bobby, how did you get involved with the film?
Well, I was blessed to have met Mark Wiley. I think we met at Urban Action Showcase. Mark had he was from Philadelphia. He came up, introduced himself to me, and you know, he told me about the story that he had and everything, and I felt it was very interesting. So he said, you know, we could sort of develop it, and you know, he'd like for me to come aboard at some point. I think a couple months went by or so, and we spoke again, and you know, we built our friendship, and then he stated that he had funding for the film. So at that point, you know, we did some modifications with the script, because I think the important thing was, like, I knew what Mark had was gold. I didn't realize the timeliness of it, considering the pandemic and considering, you know, the strife that the United States is dealing with, diversity. So I felt as though that the film would be an important message, because of the amount of Asians and Blacks and Italians, and just it incorporated every ethnicity. So we carefully went through the script to make sure that, again, there were a lot of puns made, but we did it respectfully. We played on stereotypes as opposed to promoting stereotypes. And that's the juxtaposition that people have to pay attention to. It's a play on stereotypes. Along with that, it's a feel-good story. It shows, how you can somewhat get caught up in wanting to identify with something else. In actuality, you have it within yourself. And as they say, you look for love in the wrong places, and sometimes love is right in front of your face. So it's a feel-good story. And I took pleasure in working with all the actors. I tell you, working with Jeff Lee and Xing, that particular, I remember the audition when they came in. I mean, it just blew me away at the audition because they actually came in character, makeup and everything on. So, I mean, wow, there's nothing else I could say because they brought it to life right at the audition. So there wasn't any need to look any further for anyone else. Fenton, he came in, and just the breadth of theater that he has and just how he commands the screen and how he delivers his dialogue, I knew that he had to be, and he has these facial tics that are just amazing to me. And, I said, well, that's Vinny's dad right there. That's Vinny's dad. And Chris Caldovino, my God. His characters in the work. I mean, I really enjoy working with him, especially in the scene where him and Tony, he's at the club and he pulls out the bats. I'm not gonna tell you what bat, but the bat with pleasure. I loved his performances in Boardwalk Empire, Sopranos, and it was just an honor and a dream to work with you, brother. And man, thank you so much for believing in me, man. I really do. I appreciate everything. And Mark, thank you for giving me this opportunity. It truly has changed my life. I know it was everyone wanting to know when the film is coming. I mean, we were hit with a myriad of production issues, which we overcame. Then, right after we overcame, a pandemic happened. I mean, you can't write these kind of situations, but I think it was for the best right now, because a lot has happened since then in the United States and society in general, where now the film has a more important message to deliver as opposed to just the comedic element. So yeah, I appreciate everybody, and I'm just so thankful.
And I got one more question for you. Now,
yes.
You got vaccinated, right?
Yes, I did.
Did you get the Johnson & Johnson?
No. One is done.
You got one Johnson.
I felt more comfortable with the double dose, so I got the. So
that's the inside joke. You're gonna have to rent the movie or buy it to know what that means.
They got to watch the movie in order to get it.
I was gonna say you have to get the movie.
Get the movie, and then you get that joke just there.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hop over to Chris Caldovino, but first, Chris, before you start talking, Benson, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, hey, good to be here. Thanks for having me. Nice to see everybody again, and of course you guys.
Yes. So Chris, we're gonna talk for a second. Just tell us about your experience on the film Made in Chinatown. You could even start with the audition experience since it was obviously so amazing.
Wow, thank you. The way I got involved was a little interesting. I was actually a replacement player.
A what player? Oh, okay.
My experience on the show. Well, yeah, right, I believe so. Right, someone dropped out, and I took their place. But as soon as I got down to set and met Mark and Robert and everybody, I felt really comfortable, and I knew right away that these guys knew what they were doing, and I just completely, as an actor, I trusted Robert, I trusted Mark. It was Mark's words, and Robert was directing, and I just felt really comfortable and secure. And what I really loved about the movie, even more than playing a mob guy, which I love doing and I do all the time, I had a chance to do comedy, which I really like, and to incorporate the mob aspect with the comedy is one of my favorite things to do. I lost my light, and so.
I
think we lost him.
The wrong button.
You may have to reset his phone or something.
Yeah.
He'll come back in.
Okay, so let's go up to Benson.
Yeah, let's chat with Benson. Benson, welcome. I really loved your character. as my husband was saying before you came in, we've seen the movie 3 times already.
That's great. I'll talk about validation. There it is.
I'm going to watch it again.
I want to add one thing, that you guys came to the premiere in Newark, and you saw the very first cut, and since then, at the very end, we added in a new scene that nobody had seen before with Fenton. And after Jimmy Chow tries to put the olive oil around. And Fenton hasn't seen that scene yet either. So Fenton, if you haven't seen the final release yet, I know that you've just been super busy. Check it out and see that scene. And you guys, of course, that's a new surprise in there that people have seen it before. It's a new scene.
Mm-hmm. Fabulous.
Definitely. Yeah, I was laughing again.
I'm sorry, guys. I got cut off. I apologize.
No, that's okay.
That's okay. It happens. It's not like when we first started. When we first had Mark and Bobby on the show, we had to look for a little green man.
Good time. Good time.
Now it's a lot easier.
So, Chris, you can go ahead and finish up telling us about your experience on set, and then we'll jump back over to Fenton.
Oh, thank you. Well, I had a great experience. I got to work with old friends that I've worked with on The Sopranos and other things, and then I got to meet Mark and Robert, and Mark and I and all of us are gonna work again together. I hope. I'm looking forward to that. But I had a great experience. I had a lot of fun. It was a serious. When we were working, it was work. But we had fun doing it. And the subject matter is just so much fun. The fun just spilled out into the work, and it really helps when everybody feels like that. And when you guys see it, you'll see it. It's on the screen. You'll see the fun we had.
Right.
You know what I mean? You will see. Especially when I get to beat people up. I love that.
That was hysterical. I don't want to say some of the things, like, for example, how the young kid was getting beat up, because it's funnier if they watch it.
Right.
Yes, that's why I don't want to say how. I don't want to give a spoiler, but you'll appreciate it. You haven't seen it done that way before. I can promise you that.
Yeah, that's what made it funny. That's what made it funny.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Fenton.
Hi guys.
How did you end up on the film, Fenton?
I auditioned, and they somehow believed me, and I say thank you. Close my eyes. And I came back on a set, and they still remembered me, which is incredible. So yeah, no, it was a 2019. I think it was 2019. 2019. Yeah, this was like bracketed between 2 really nice events for me in Philly. So I had such a nice time. Working in Philly, working with the production. Now I wound up moving there. So this is why I've been going so crazy. I haven't had a chance to look there because I just moved to Philly. Oh, thank you, Mark. Wow. They weren't. I love Philly. I'm now in Philly. Sorry, I'm a little sick too. So I'm sorry, Robert. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you. Say it again.
我請你點心啊
And this is the other reason why I love this cruise so much. Oh my God, it's like I would hear language as I looked around, and it's like, that's Bobby! Oh my God! No, it's fantastic. And, there's just such wonderful chemistry. Like Chris, it's like, when the Italian side of the crew is there, it's like, there is just so much love. There's so much synergy going on, and we can feed back and forth. And that's one of the lovely things about this film, is that it really captures that sense of camaraderie and that is culturally based, and we get to see its kind of the same thing. You know, it really strikes into that universality of the fact that we're human beings. That there's certain fundamental things that we do that is completely us and us and us. There is no them. There is no they. We are all the same people. We just have our own quirky little thing that we all do a little differently.
That's right.
Thank God.
Exactly.
You know, Mark, now I know. Now you know why I dropped out of the movie, because and Chris took the part that I was going to do, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm so. You probably would have been better than me. I apologize.
Hey,
Pedro, you want to be a made guy?
Hey, let me give you a quote from the let me give you a quote from the movie. Forget about it.
You know what? I gotta tell you, my wife she asked me about this, and she said, where did you get that? I said, this was made in Chinatown.
Oh my God.
The title is great. That title is awesome because
this is a great title.
You know, you could use it for something being made in Chinatown and being made as a gangster in Chinatown. It's brilliant.
Right.
Brilliant.
Yeah, the original titles, if you want to hear them, I'll give you a few of the originals. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Vinny Chow, Chinese Wise Guy. That was the first one. Yeah. That movie's so old, nobody would think of it. And then there was the Big Man on Mulberry Street was the next one. Big Man on Mulberry Street. And that's a Billy Joel song, and then it was 90 grand for the rights to use the song. So I said, never mind. So I'll cut the name. And then it was
he's a musician, right?
Yeah, and then it was Vinny Goomba, but then you didn't get the sense of the Chinese in that name, right? So then I was like, made guy, made in China, made in Chinatown. That's it, made in Chinatown. Wow. You know, the first word is the double meaning. Yeah. You know, so we had Lo Mong say, no one gets made in Chinatown, so that people would know what just when he stomps on Vinny's face, you know, because no one gets made in Chinatown.
People that have not yet seen the movie, I'm going to play the trailer so you could see and get a little taste of it, okay?
Okay.
Look, today everybody in the city thinks I'm a hero. The girl of my dreams kissed me and I'm in love. I knew I was good, but I never worked this fast before.
Got 3 seconds.
I want to join the family and become a wise guy. Vinny Chow, proving myself mob-worthy.
Mob-worthy? You ain't even Italian.
I'm doing the best I can.
Be smart, kid. I know what it is, you little rat. You think you're the Godfather.
Here to collect. You don't pay, I gotta get rough.
You don't talk to me. In fact, you never met me.
Please tell Mr. Continental I said yes, sir. When you put it that way, it just sounds so unhealthy.
I'm Special Agent Johnson. This is my partner, Special Agent Johnson.
First, you need a bib.
We need an Italian that looks a little Chinese, kind of like a crossover. That's a good idea. That's what I know what.
We are the original crime syndicate, begun centuries ago by Marco Polo.
Vincent Chow.
Vincent?
Hello, Vincent. I want to be Vinny Chow. Get him! Get him!
I think that went really well.
Yeah? Doug, baby, I never expected you.
That was our editor Robert Jefferson's trailer that he did for us. Just want to give a shout out to Robert Jefferson.
That's right.
I like that one. I like that one.
That was great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Robert, he put his thing down with the edit, so greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate that. But you know, for me, I want to say, you know, one of the most difficult scenes was that ending. That ending took a lot of coordination, and it was action packed. And I just, the movie has something for everybody, but I do action films primarily. So a lot of my things are just straight action based. I wanted to do this film because I wanted to come out of my comfort zone, and I've never tackled comedy. So this was a chance for me to stretch my skill sets. And, although there's a healthy dose of martial arts in it, it's not a martial arts film per se. It's a coming of age story that has a little martial arts, in it. So I think the film has a message, and I think that in this time people will enjoy the message that the film has.
Yes, absolutely. Very, very timely. We're gonna click on a comment here. Robert Jefferson said something about it was the hottest day of the shoot when you guys were talking about how hot it was that day.
Yeah.
Then we have a comment from Daryl Brackett. He said that looks awesome. Can't wait to see it.
Well, stop dilly-dallying around and go on Amazon and go get it.
Oh,
it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
I know for sure that he'll get it.
Don't wait for it anymore. It's available.
So,
Louise is saying hello.
Yeah, Diana. Well, Diana was just saying hello, and Louise Gosling. Let's click on her comment. Hey, all of you, looking forward.
Hey.
All right.
So, Mark, I want to talk to you a little bit about the young man who played Young Vinny, Nico Chang Lynch.
Yep. Nico was such a cute kid.
Yeah. Like, forget about it.
Forget about it. So, that Fenton was really great with him. Fenton was great with the other two little kids, Fenton and Patricia Chu's younger children in the show too. He has a way with kids, and Nico's role, I was like, Vinny Chow grows up watching Wise Guy movies, So we wanted him to do a riff throughout the movie on different Wise Guy movies. So he does quite a bit of dialogue from Donnie Brasco thrown in and out of the movie. He does a couple things from Godfather. He does a Donnie Brasco line, but with the Godfather intonation. He messes it all up. And there's a couple of Bruce Lee lines in there from Bruce Lee movies that he switches around a little bit, But with Nico, we wanted to do Taxi Driver. And De Niro is standing in front of the mirror saying, "You talking to me?" And he's pulling his gun. "You talking to me? You talking to me?" Right? And then, Bobby figured out how we could shoot it into that mirror. And Fenton was there, but the room was so small, we really couldn't get a lot of coverage for it, And then Bobby coached Nico and was like, "Okay, we can't just do you talking to me over and over." So he's like, "Say, you're a wise guy, forget about it," And Bobby coached him on those lines. And then Fenton comes in and he's like, "You talking to me?" And Fenton's like, "Oh, of course I'm talking to you. I just called your name." He's like, "No, you talking to me?" He's like, "What's the matter? You got a fever?" "Forget about it." "Oh, you got an ear problem," Fenton calls out to the mom and drags him by the ear out of the room. And then later in the movie, Vinny Chow, as he's older, says, "Man, it's like the Chinese don't speak my language." Well, because you're speaking Italian to them,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, Jeff, what was it like for you playing your role in the film? I know it had to be a black. Yeah. I'm just saying. So, first of all, Mark, did you base those characters on anyone specific?
Yeah, Wisdom and Knowledge. In 1995, I had moved to Japan to work for a publishing company. I lived in Tokyo, and I brought with me a book of cartoons from the New. I really love those cartoons, right? The line drawing cartoons in the New Yorker, if you've seen them. And I was sitting at my desk in Tokyo, flipping through it, missing home. I didn't speak Japanese yet, just got there. And there was a cartoon picture of an old sage guy sitting on top of this mountaintop. And then there's some more mountains. And the hiker just made it to the top. He's like, "Sir, are you the great sage Wisdom?" He goes, "No, I'm Knowledge. Wisdom's over there." And he points to like 4 mountain peaks later. And I thought, that's the funniest thing ever. Like the guy gets to the top of the mountain and it's not the right guy, And it just stuck with me. So when I wrote it, I was like, how do I write Vinny's conscience? Because those two guys are his conscience. They're not real. That's why they disappear, right? Shing's character says, "Wisdom and knowledge are within you." Jeff touches says what he says, and then they disappear. And it's like they're his conscience. What should I do? Should I do this? Should I do this? And his conscience is arguing with each other. Mm-hmm. And I felt like Don Rickles and, so old Jews up at the Catskills doing shtick. So I wanted to have the two sages not be sage-like, right? Because I was trying to just bust the stereotype. No Charlie Chan, fortune teller. So we mentioned Charlie Chan because it's funny, because it's not real, right? Yeah, so I wanted Wisdom and Knowledge to be like a couple old Jews in the Catskills back in the day, doing shtick on each other, busting on each other. And Jeff will tell you how many more lines there were that we had to cut out because the scenes were just so long with your mom this, your widow Chang that, on and on and on and on and on.
It's sprawling.
I'll let Jeff comment.
Yeah. I noticed that Shing's trying to get in here. I don't know. Do you? Is he here? Because I was texting him. I don't mean to change the subject too quick, but I would like him to be here since we're talking about the characters.
Yeah.
I don't.
I send him the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeff, maybe you can send it to him again. He may not have it handy.
Yeah, I sent it to him in Messenger on the same link, same thing I sent him. Okay. But anyway, if he gets in, we'll let him talk.
Yeah, well,
maybe.
by the time we were doing the role and we were reading these lines, I'm going, wow, this looks like a lot of fun. And I have this relationship with Shing anyway. I'm always busting his chops.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, because we differ on a lot. Even though we're like really tight friends, and I love him so much because he takes care of his mom.
Yes.
No matter how much criticism I can have about him, like personally, I'll always like give him I'll give him some slack, just because I love him so much as a brother. So and that feeling comes out between Wisdom and Knowledge, I believe. And he's the one who kind of set up. I give him so much props because in our audition, he's the one who said, "Hey, we got to do this in like full makeup," So we ordered stuff online. We ordered the beard. He got this like cheap wig. And it was a lot of fun. It was like amazing fun getting ready for it. And when we rehearsed it, I said, "This is." I said, he wasn't even off book. And I was like, man, I was mad at him for that. And I'm going, "What are you doing? You're not even off book. And we're rehearsing, blah blah. This is what actors do, coming down on each other." So we brought that feeling into the scenes. Mm-hmm. And it worked. I believe it worked.
Yes, it did.
Very natural.
I love bickering with Shing. I love bickering with Shing. He's a close friend, and so we were perfectly suited for these roles.
Agreed.
Yeah,
awesome.
Agreed.
We have the recording of their audition.
I'm gonna have to sign off. I'm sorry.
Oh, Chris.
Give Chris one more question. Give Chris another one.
Chris, tell us what you have coming up, really quick.
Can't hear
Days
you.
of Our Lives.
Tell us what you have coming up right before you sign off.
Wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, one more sec. Say that again. I couldn't hear you.
What you got coming up, Chris?
What do you have coming up?
Oh, sorry. Well, I have a few things coming up. I'm actually up for a role in. I'm also going to be working with Terrence Winter, who's the producer of Boardwalk Empire. He has another show coming on Showtime, and that should be happening soon. And then I'm going to be working for Mark again, which I'm really looking forward to. And Mark's next project. I don't know if I can speak about it yet, but it's a really great project. Started reading the script today, and I really love it. It's well written, and it's a really interesting character study. I can say that. Again, I don't want to give away too much. You can have Mark, but we're really looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to work with Robert again and all the guys.
Thank you, Chris.
On our next thing. But this next thing that Mark is doing seems really interesting, and it's a crime genre, but it's a really interesting twist to it, and it's more of it's a character study, So I love films like that. You know, I like character-driven films. You know, you know, my movies, the movies I love is when I was a kid. You know, with Taxi Driver and Raging Bull, and you know, character studies. You know, so that's my jam, as they say. And Mark is putting one together that's going to be pretty awesome, and I'm looking forward to get to work on that.
Good, good. That sounds.
The first thing he mentioned when he was clicking out was Days of Our Lives. He's gonna, right? We didn't hear that part, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Days of Our Lives.
Well, I haven't got it yet. I'm up for a role on it, a contract role to play a
nice
gangster, believe it or not.
No,
really?
no.
I guess they're casting against type. I don't know.
He's growing.
Yeah. Anyway,
thank you,
Thanks,
Chris.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Love you, brother.
Great job.
Appreciate you, man.
First connection, I can't hear it, but I'll be on the next one. I promise.
Okay.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. Love you, Chris.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
That was.
You know,
so,
Jeff did 2 roles. He also did Lou the Ancient. You know, he was the herbalist in the herbal shop. Jeff Lee. See, you didn't even know it.
What?
Yeah.
We saw a lot of people that had double role. You know, Jeff.
You couldn't even tell.
Oh, the makeup was excellent.
Yeah, and you played them differently. You didn't play.
Oh, very, yeah.
That's the part I like the most as a director. Like, you were playing 2 different characters, actually 3. Third one got cut, but just the way in which you transition for each character was amazing. Like Lou the Ancient just had a whole different disposition as opposed to the characters that you and Shing played, Wisdom and Knowledge. But I mean, Jeff, I can't express it, man. You're one of my heroes, man. Trust me, I really love working with you on this film. You, Fenton, Shing, you guys are brilliant, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you.
Fenton, I see why they booked you, because your energy comes through right through the screen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just when you started talking, I could see how much fun you were having on the film. You could feel it right through the screen there.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. The challenge was to search for the voice of each of the characters, well, because I really wanted to make them distinctively Knowledge, distinctively the Ancient One, distinctively the Calligrapher, because that's what the audience hears, and that's
right.
Was there any room for improvising, or you had to stick to this script?
In terms of like the direction, I was given a lot of faith and trust. I can tell you that much. No, we didn't. I don't believe I changed any of the lines, did I, Mark? Mark, you're the writer.
The thing is, though, as an actor's writer, I made sure I talked to Fenton, I talked to Karen Lee, I talked to Jeff and Shing, and I said, "Are these lines okay? You're saying goofy stuff, and we're trying to turn stereotypes and make fun of the stereotype, right? So I don't want to cross lines. And is this, something that you guys would feel comfortable saying? And is there another way to say it? Karen Lee took, I think she played May's, Shuya Chang's mom. And there was a whole bunch of scenes there that were cut, unfortunately. But so Karen had a bigger role, but now we just see her at the table in the art gallery with Fenton and Patricia and Greg Lee. But Karen said, I had a line and I said something like, I couldn't measure up young Vinny in the Kung Fu school in the beginning, talking to Wisdom and Knowledge. And he said, I could never, and I was bringing disrespect and I didn't want to let my blah, 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 blah. She said, just say I was the eldest son. Everybody knows everything else that means, so it's like, great, red line those extras. She just nailed it, and Fenton, strung in his stuff and Jeff and King, we talked about it all before we went into filming, so when they were on set, we were all in agreement. And then it was just, what did Bobby want to capture? And then did they have to make it shorter or faster or slower or whatever? and there's tons of outtakes, you know, and even in the herbal shop, there was all kinds of stuff about the libido and Vinny's mom and all this stuff that's TMI for Vinny to hear, you know, that are on the cutting room. But we're going to release all those for everybody to see. We're going to have we're building a special thing with Urban Action for outtakes and bloopers. You'll see later on, we'll make the announcement. You can see all the cut stuff. And Jeff mentioned that we should have Fenton for the father to come and audition, and I had to step out. My daughter left her gymnastics gear in my car, and I was in Philly, and she had a meet, and I had to go all the way back to the burbs, drop it all the way back, and I had just missed Fenton, but they played me the videos there, and he did like 4 takes of the lines, and each one was different. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is so good. He's in. That's it. He's in. It was just amazing. Yeah. And he did a good thing between like a traditional fresh off the boat dad and an Archie Bunker kind of I'm in my chair smoking my stuff. He did that good mix, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's all in the material, Mark, because, you know, you like you said, you know, you are a actor's writer. You have that sensibility. You see it in your head, how these characters would be. There's very little... I see it often too in material. It gets too literary. It gets a little too.
Yeah.
The language is wonderful, but who would say things like that, right? At least it has to be some kind of character. It becomes a character thing. And Mark, you know, has this wonderful way of saying to the truth, and yet at the same time infuse it with tremendous amount of sensibility and sentimentality when it's needed. So it's really well grounded. So that when we go to shoot, you got somebody amazing like Bobby here, who's just so efficient. So there is this wonderful, it really is a wonderful synergy where so much got done with so little time and you know, resource, money. It's all about resource, right? And time, and they got it done in a phenomenal way. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, you know, with Fenton, you had a lot of good facial expressions and tonal changes in your lines. You know, Vinny comes in, he's like, I got a job offer. You're like, a job? You know, like, finally, your son is getting a job. What kind of job? You're like, it's an olive oil.
Well, Mark, you
know,
you make me easy for me to get into a particular line of characterization.
You pull that out, and then you have a disappointed look when he told you what you're like, you know. Some people would just say it and just blow it off, but you really pulled it out. Yeah. It was terrific, you know.
Even
you can tell you work a lot, you know.
Yeah, even the scene where you're in the bedroom with young Vinny, and he's saying, you know, he wants to be Italian, you know, and he puts the grease in his hair. When you grab his ear, the beauty of that scene is the look that you give at the mirror. You twist your eye up in your face and you say, Lobo, you know?
What is he doing?
Mom's gonna punish you, boy. Yeah.
You know, we also enjoy Manny's.
Oh my God, Manny's incredible.
Manny stole the show, man.
Incredible.
He was incredible.
You know what? Mark, share with them Raymond Barry's comment about Manny, because that's very important.
Raymond Barry sent me a letter, an email, but it's long like a letter. Hold on, I'll read it. The little sentences here, if I have it here. And he said, hold on. He let me see if I have it. But
Raymond Barry was
okay. Raymond Barry did O'Grady. He was in my favorite movie in middle school. When I was in middle school, came out. It was called Year of the Dragon with Mickey Rourke. And you know that Jeff Lee and Shin Ka were both in that movie. Wow. Year of the Dragon. Yep. So here I am, my favorite movie, and I've got the co-star and these two guys in it from that. Like, it's just my never seen Made in Chinatown until 2 weeks ago. It's been 3 years. We filmed in summer of 2018. And he finally saw, he never saw the takes, nothing. And he finally saw it. And he sent me an email that says, Mark, you're my hero. Well, sorry. I improvise.
You see?
I improvise. But he says the casting is great, both the Asians and the Italian elements. The Italians all speak as if they're from Thompson or Sullivan Street in New York City. They're all good actors. The world of the film is overbearingly macho. But then in the middle, you introduce an overtly gay man who is such a formidable and somewhat dangerous martial artist is a brilliant touch that defies the normal question of what is a man? What is a manly man and what is a sensitive man? Is a real man somewhat effeminate? Within the confines of the film's macho world, that gay character is a brilliant touch. And Manny just pulled it off. Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant.
He watched it once through and he grabbed the essence. You know, and he's and it's basically he's effeminate, he doesn't care, you know, he's talking with a high-pitched voice, he's flamboyant, he's doing Shakespeare, and he's like the deadliest of all the fighters. He's badass. And he doesn't care. He's the only one who's comfortable in their shoes, right? In the whole movie. So it's really gay black men rule. Well, at least Daniel Brown rules. He did such an amazing job, and
he really did.
When we saw when we screened it in Trenton, my son who's in college was there with 3 roommates, and he came out of the theater. Was like, "Can we meet the gay guy? Can we meet Lawrence?" He didn't care about anyone else. They just wanted to take pictures with Lawrence.
But I think that's a testament to the script. It encompasses so much and so many individuals, and it just touches upon every lifestyle and every person. I mean, truly, it was remarkable work. And I tell you, there's never been a gay black martial arts action guy like Manny. That's a first to be put on the screen. Yeah. So kudos to you, Mark, for taking that challenge. You know,
it's our superhero origin story for Lawrence.
Okay, yeah.
And then the Tweeds will be in it, and they'll be his mentors. They'll be his parents, you know, who are also superheroes.
That's so funny.
I could probably do the parent, but I don't know about her. You know, she's like
20.
Yes.
I see a kick-ass side. I see that.
Okay, guys. So we are gonna go around the horn and see what you guys got coming up next. And then we're gonna have Mark plug where you can see the film, where we can buy it on DVD, and all that good stuff. And then we'll let you guys go because.
Thank you.
So I'll go last. So you can come
okay, let's start with let's go Fenton, Robert, Jeff, and then Mark. So Fenton, tell us what you got coming up.
Yeah, I have a short film coming up. Filming. Oh my God, it's already the 26th. So this coming weekend, I think. Totally forgot. No, but I've been COVID has been very strange. You know, in our industry, it totally tossed the industry. Totally shut it down. So now that it's coming back up, it's completely uneven, and there's not enough work. But then, you know, so there's like stuff all over the place. Like I was even working a couple of back in the beginning of this year, actually, for a HBO TV show called Betty. It's been so long. I mean, Betty. It's a great series. It's about young women skaters, skateboarders in New York City. And it's just really well done. It started off as a documentary, and then people recognized what, the value of what it is, and they gave it funding, and it's on their second season, and you got to go see it. It's just really, it really speaks about New York City, the fiber of it, but then it focuses on young teen women issues and skateboarding, that they're in a man's world, so to speak, right? And they're making it work, and they're doing what they love, and they're completely unapologetic, and yet they're not, they're not really fighting anything. They're really being themselves, and that is a precious message. That you can do what you love to do, fiercely, unapologetically, I mean, as long as you're not, causing other people troubles, right? You don't have to take on their negativity. You just do your thing, So, yeah. So I mean, it's been a good year. So I'm looking forward to our industry coming out of COVID, and we'll see what happens. And I would love to get back to doing theater, but theater has that constraint where they really need almost at least 80% of capacity in order for them to be economically, productive. So theater is not coming back for quite some time. Currently, they're projecting till September, but who knows? We just have to see. But we're doing it with everybody, and as long as we keep wearing our mask and taking care of each other, make sure that we can stop this flow of the virus epidemic, we'll be out there and we'll have fun again, and we'll get to do all the stuff that we love to do, and that's really the most important thing. So yeah, so plugging along, gerbil.
We're gonna go to Robert Samuels.
Okay, hey guys, how are you? First, thanks for having me. I was really appreciative of this, and thanks for supporting the film. You said you saw it 3 times. I'm very happy about that. I got a couple things coming up. I'm in the process. We're filming actually right now. Our 4 films. We're doing Shuttle Fist 2. That's a follow-up to our Shuttle Fist 1 hit, and I'll be leaving in July for a month to work with action film director Nicholas Ortiz. I'll be filming a film called Jugando con Fuego down in Tijuana, Mexico. Basically, first time as a lead actor as opposed to a co-star, so I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Congratulations. Awesome.
It's a cross between Equalizer and Man on Fire, the Denzel Washington film, with so stay tuned. It'll be again Nicholas Ortiz, he's directing it. 3 film groups kind of joined together and pulled our resources, and we're just gonna take a month and go down there and just make a badass film. So looking forward to that. So, yeah.
Jugando con Fuego coming up.
Habla español, muy bien.
Sí.
All right, let's go over to Jeff. Thank you so much.
Jeff.
Wow. I'm echoing Bobby as far as being here and having this opportunity. It's been like really wonderful to share time with y'all, and of course my comrades from Made in Chinatown. I'm missing Shing. I'm sorry. During the I have a couple of character roles that I actually worked during the pandemic a little bit. One is in a movie called People of the Pandemic. Where'd that come from? So I play a landlord who is like hassling a restaurant owner whose father I know, and so the restaurant's been taken over by a son. So I have a very nice scene in there. People of the Pandemic. That's probably going to come out. It's an interesting format because they're doing 5 stories sewn together to make one movie.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and that probably will not come out until 2022.
Okay.
And there's a CBS TV pilot called Ways and Means, starring Patrick Dempsey. And I have a few words with him. This was hard because it was shot in January of this year, and it was cold, and we were 5 hours out in the standing on cold ground, cold sidewalk. That really chills you to the bone. My back was hurting for days afterwards.
Yep.
But all I say is, beautiful speech. I almost said Dempsey. Beautiful speech, Connor. And so they specified in that straight English, no accent. Even though I'm some foreign ambassador. That's the pilot for Ways and Means. Patrick Dempsey's a really nice guy. He looks better in person than in pictures. He's really well preserved from the Doctor series.
Grey Anatomy.
Yeah, Grey's Anatomy. And
on a personal note, I gotta tell you that I enjoy your music playing by the window.
Which one?
I think you were playing the sax.
In Made in Chinatown? It's a flute.
No, at your house. You were playing some kind of music in your house.
Where did you see it?
Was that print ad that you recently did?
From Facebook? Was it posted
on
Facebook?
Yeah.
That must have been that print ad that you just did. You had the black.
Was I actually playing an instrument?
Yeah, you were playing an instrument. That was a while ago.
Yeah, that was a repost because I'm going to be one of my plans this year is to produce a music video with a song that has a theme about diversity, like a really generic theme about diversity. It's been sitting in the back of my head for like 20 years at least. And this is, every year it comes around. I said, I got to produce this. I got to produce this for Trump. I got to, against Trump. And it's way overdue. And as my plan is to actually stop acting so I can produce this music video and call in all my old music friends to help me out.
Oh, wow.
I hope that I hope you guys will be able to see that before the year's up.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Okay.
And there's a little bit more. I've been doing like odd photo shoots. The short film that Fenton had mentioned, we're going to be shooting it in pretty soon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, within the last couple of weeks. We're in the same film. We're not in the same scene. But I'm working with Karen.
Yes.
Nice.
It's another kind of identity thing. It's an identity theme, but this time it's a young girl who comes back to her family, and from the West Coast, she's like a DJ. She's like a successful DJ in the West Coast, and she comes back to visit her family on the East Coast. And I played her father, who's like has mental illness, and so this is a rough one for me. I'm going, wow, this is hard, but I'm enjoying the challenge of like working on this character.
Yeah.
That's going to be shot pretty soon, and I have a lot of faith in how they're producing it, because it's all like top notch for a short. This is one of the best prepared shorts in terms of production that I've ever seen.
Wow.
So,
wonderful.
I'm looking forward.
Wow,
Thank you so much, Jeff. We're going to hop over to Mr. Mark White.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much. Tweeds, you guys are awesome. We love you.
We love
you.
And
not just because you promote our show, but because you're just awesome people.
Thank you. Thank you.
And, I've got a couple things coming up. A couple of years ago, Tony Darrow had gotten into some trouble, and all the Sopranos came out to raise money for them, and they did a roast. You know how they roast you.
Yeah.
And it was the last performance from James Gandolfini before he died, Frank Vincent. All the guys were there, and Tony's asked me to produce and put this footage out. He's given me all the raw footage and all the rights. And it's it's called A Roast to Die For.
Wow.
And I've talked to our distributors at Vision Films, and they're very interested to pick it up because almost half their business is in documentaries. So they've asked me to do some shooting with Tony, to do some interview footage to interspace between all the joking. Jeff Parami, who passed away recently, who was the deli man in Made in Chinatown, is the host, the MC of this thing back then. And Vinny Pastore, all of the Sopranos are there, and they're all busting Tony's chops. And they raised the money to help him out of his tough spot. So this thing it's funny and it's heartfelt and it's hilarious. And there's some skits in it that they had filmed a bunch of years ago. So Tony entrusted that to me. So that's one of the things I'm working on. pulling together. As soon as I get the final, there's some more hard drives I'm waiting to get on that one. And then I have a period piece I wrote, a murder crime kung fu movie set in 1906 in Guangzhou, China, called The Dragon Letters. We've got Lo Mang coming back for that one. It's going to be shot in Cantonese for the Chinese market. We'll subtitle it for the West. And
I love you, Mark.
Thank you.
I love you. Thank you.
And it's all about, he is a kung fu master, bone setter, herbalist who's overly arrogant, and his family's wiped out. And he loses everything and bottoms out. And he gets into trouble. He's trying to investigate who did it, not knowing actually that it's his best friend, the governor, and the head guard, because he's getting too close to exposing them just by being a mensch, a good guy. And he gets hurt really bad fighting and almost dies, and this homeless kid nurses him back to health. And he learns to be dependent on somebody else, and that Sifu can't do everything. And he rebuilds, and he gets his revenge in the end, but it's a societal revenge because he works with these freedom fighters to overthrow the corrupt government officials in Guangzhou. And then they offer him the job of governor, the Empress Dowager's emissary, and he turns it down to open up an herbal shop in this town where all these people need him more. So he overcomes all of that. And there's plenty of kung fu, plenty of training, Chinese medicine, action, and a big story around it. And we've got most of the funding ready. We're going to shoot in Penang, and we're just trying to figure out all the logistics to get that started. Mm-hmm. And Chris Caldovino mentioned a show that he's attached on now. A writer brought me in as a producer to produce his movie. It's called Mileage, and it's like an Elmore Leonard novel. If you've read any of his or seen Get Shorty, or was that Out of Sight with George Clooney and J-Lo? Mm-hmm. It's kind of a dark detective. Well, not a detective, but there's a murder, and there's all kinds of stuff, and it's a little bit dark. And so the funding's almost in for that. The guy who wrote it, he has friends at the Royal Bank of Canada who are putting up the money for this. But it's a modified low budget SAG, but we've got enough resources to shoot it. And we wanted to shoot it here in Philly, but there's no tax credit, so we're going to go to upstate New York. We're just planning it. We're waiting for them to stop talking and actually put the money in escrow so we can talk about it and announce it and, bring our whole production team on. You know what I'm saying? But he brought me in on that, and we're just waiting for that. I've done rounds of the script with him, several rounds of the script. So yeah, that's what I got going. Made in Chinatown yesterday released on DVD, and you can see it also on pay-per-view on Amazon and Google Play and Vudu and Comcast Xfinity and Fios and 100 other places. And that's super cool and awesome. It's like every week it's opening up on more channels. And then in August 11, it goes on to another 20 or 30 streaming networks that are subscription based. Like it'll go from Amazon pay-per-view to Amazon Prime. So if you're a Prime subscription member, you can have it free, but don't wait. See it now.
Exactly.
And then maybe Hulu and other places. The distributor has this amazing 9-month plan. So the first 3 months are on these channels, and the next 3 months go to the subscription channels, and then it goes to other, and they have this thing spread out. So they've got a good plan for the movie. Vision Films, woo!
Yes.
That's fantastic news. Wow, amazing, Mark.
Yeah. So what do the Tweeds have coming up?
I'm producing this short movie that one of the actors actually, I may have to replace him because he's afraid to come out still. So it's a short, and my wife had auditioned for so many different things.
Yeah.
And she just did on Monday. We didn't do it on Monday because she was actually working from the house. She was doing a play.
Yeah.
Well, you talk about it.
Thank you. No, I mean, I don't have anything coming up, but I have done tons of auditions and I'm waiting to hear back. So, we'll see somewhere. Monday I did a play reading for the Chicago Dramatists. So they're trying to get that play on stage. So we, hopefully that will be able to come to life. The name of the play is called Hot Steam, and it's a wonderful play. And just audition like crazy and wait to hear back. So films and hopefully I'll be traveling to Maryland at the end of June if I book this series.
And on this show we have Monday coming up. John Little. I don't know if you know who John Little is, but he wrote all those books on Bruce Lee.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Do you know, Pedro, that I was the editor of the first 3 Bruce Lee volumes for John Little?
Do you know that I saw
That's amazing. I went out to John Little's house where he was staying in Iowa because we went over to Linda Lee's house, into her garage, and I got to play with all Bruce Lee's stuff for a while, focus mitts and shirts that you've seen in all the books. And I went through with him for 2 days, thousands of photographs from the Lee estate, picking them out for those first 3 books that came out in that Bruce Lee series. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was looking at research, because I like to research everything, I saw that your name was asked. Hey, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
did you find any secrets?
I would tell you, but
then you have to be killed.
Things are only a secret until you read it, until you know it.
That's right. Yeah, there's no secrets.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Thank you guys so much for coming on. We want to thank
Thank you.
Checked out a little bit early.
Yes,
Mark Wiley, Jeff Lee, Fenton Lee, and Robert Samuels. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you
so much for having me.
I'm so glad you're in Philadelphia now.
I can't wait. I'm loving Philly.
You get a parking ticket, you call Bobby.
That's right.
I'm gonna come work in Philly and be a local guy because I'm gonna crash at your house.
Yeah,
I know.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah. Bobby's gonna make me in Chinatown.
That's right.
Bobby can speak Cantonese. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us on Tweed
Thank you
Talks.
guys.
Great night.
Love you all. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Well, there you go.
My face hurts from laughing so much.
That was a great show. That was a great
wonderful.
show. And
Wonderful.
I'm so glad that we got to do this. I wanted to do it before the DVD came out, but now people out there that saw how funny they are.
Yeah.
Go and watch the movie.
Absolutely.
And then come back and leave us a note and talk about it. But we couldn't tell you much because we really wanted you to enjoy it.
Yes.
The movie. And as always, we're going to say love,
peace,
and harmony.
And
we'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye.